Good morning, everybody. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. Monday, August the 6th, year 2012. Just shot that video earlier. Had a deer walk up my driveway. Started munching on the leaves in the big old brush pile I made over there. Then he walked across the front yard and decided to jump up and grab some apples off my tree. That's okay, get them nice and fat. Hunting season's just a few months down the road, but you know, out here in the country, one random shot, nobody think nothing of it. Anyway, yesterday I was helping my neighbor to the north of me move out, and then the new neighbors came in. They moved here from Florida. Nice couple. And so they were saying how they'd been on the road for about 6 days eating fast food. So I invited them over for dinner. Gave me excuse to, I grilled up some pork chops. I use this mesquite charcoal, product of Mexico. That's the real deal. You go down to Mexico and you walk around and you see all these little taco stands making chicken tacos and beef tacos and pork tacos and tacos de cabeza. That's head tacos. It's the pig's head. I never wanted to eat any pig's head. And then one day I was at this little town and they had tacos. They didn't even say what kind they were. I was hungry, so I had a couple of them. They were head tacos and they were good. So don't be afraid to try tacos de cabeza. Anyway, it's a nice morning here. Overcast, slightly drizzly. That's good. You know, help keep the garden, water the garden. But like I said, I invited the neighbors over, do the neighborly thing, help them out, give them a few tips about living here in the country, because I hadn't lived in the country before. Because I read a lot before I moved to the country. Now I was saying here, we're in from the coast a little bit. And if you drive down to the coast, there could be a 20-degree temperature swing in just a few miles. So in your car or truck, always have a warm sweater or sweatshirt or jacket and a windbreaker, because it's pretty windy here on the coast. Just little simple things like that, because if you go into town in the middle of the day and you're walking around up here in your t-shirt and you wind up staying till dark in town, you're going to freeze. It'll be 90 up here, and at night it'll be down in the 50s. Trust me, that's cold. 40-degree temperature swing. Especially if you're coming from a warm climate to here, your blood is thin. It takes about 2 years to thicken up. It takes about 2 years to thin out if you go from a cold climate to a warm climate. The other thing is, I said, you know, always make sure you have a knife or a multi-tool on you when you're working around the ranch. Otherwise, you'll be making a lot of trips back to the tool shed. Just little simple things like that. You know, learning what shops to deal with and which ones to avoid. And just getting the lay of the land. And when you go to town, always have your shopping list with you. Because if you go into Mayberry from here, it's about 10 miles. And if you go up to Mount Pilot, that's 50 miles. You don't want to have to do a 100-mile round trip twice because you forgot something. So, as you're moving along throughout your day, you figure you need something, you write it down So you take that shopping list with you. It's like, because the next time I head up to Mount Pilot or over to Raleigh, see, Raleigh would be the capital, but I don't really go to the capital in this state. No reason to. But if I have to go in town into the big city, there's a couple of tools I need. I can make do without them, but it's just nice to have the right tools. Need a gear puller. When I had to do that pulley, I had to use a crowbar to get it off on the rototiller the other day. I'd rather have a gear puller. Left all the gear pullers back at the garage back in Arizona for my buddy to use. But that's okay, they're not that expensive. And then somehow I'm missing a 1/2 inch 6-point deep socket 3/8 drive. I don't know what happened to it. I think my buddy broke it and forgot to put one back in there. That's why I get Sears Craftsman. I guess you hear me talk about Sears Craftsman a lot, but when you break those hand tools, they replace them for free. Which reminds me, I should have 4 screwdrivers coming sometime soon. Then I also need a 1/2 inch to 3/8 adapter for the sockets. If you use them, you know why. I tell you though, the news, the current events, I don't know why people keep falling for it. You know, they came out with the non-farm payroll numbers again, talking about jobs being added. Why is it all of a sudden in this election year jobs are being added? Do you believe that? I mean, really, truthfully, do you believe the numbers the government tells you? They can't seem to get too many things right, because probably by the end of this week they'll come out with some revised numbers, or maybe it's a couple weeks, but it'll change. They talk about housing. I guess it's bottoming and coming back up. When you take a look around, you probably see thriving businesses. You see people driving. I was reading one of them 4-wheel drive magazines again. They had an ad in there for those quads. The one was $10,000 and the other one was $12,000. $10,000 for a quad. Basically a play toy. I mean, you can use them around the ranch. They do come in handy. I don't have one. I was thinking about getting one time, but back then in the 90s, it was $4 grand for a quad. So I bought that old 4x4 pickup for $1,300 or so. The one that wound up in the trees. To me, that was a better deal. $10,000 for a quad in this economy. And they're selling them. So I ask you once again, is the economy really that bad? Or do they just want you to think it's that bad? It doesn't matter the economy. If you don't have a job, your economy's bad. If you don't have any way to generate income, produce income, it's the personal economy. That's really the economy you need to concern yourself with. Of course, if you're in business and all of a sudden you don't have any customers, well, then your economy goes bad. And you can blame it on the economy, or you could say, maybe I better change, because people quit buying from me, they're buying somewhere else. And you know they're buying somewhere else because other businesses are thriving. I mean, iPods, iPads, all that iTunes, all that stuff. Is that really necessary? I mean, if the economy was bad, do you think people would be spending money on that stuff? Or yesterday I talked about, you know, how people were all concerned with that 16-year-old gymnast, I think her name's Gabby, concerned with her hair, her appearance. Well, I don't see the fashion industry suffering, or the makeup industry, or the, you know, the hairstylists. They're still out there, you know, $50, $60, $70 or more for a haircut, and, you know, $100 for women to get their hair colored or whatever. Now, if the economy was really that bad, would they be spending the money on that? Well, who knows? I don't think so. See, people have a way of finding money for things that they really want or think they need. You know, they go and the women get their nails done. You know, 20 bucks, 50 bucks. In this economy, plenty of nail salons out there. So is the economy really that bad? I know they keep messing with gas prices, but it doesn't seem to be a shortage of gasoline. They just mess with the prices. And don't forget, the government makes money off of those prices, the taxes. In fact, I think I made mention that my congressman is going to do a town hall meeting next week. Still don't know if I should go or not. Maybe I should make a spectacle of myself. Make the news or something. I think I should call him a tyrant to his face. Maybe I should take this flag with me. Lowbuck Prepper gave me this flag. Thanks again, Lowbuck. I don't know, maybe they might have Secret Service there, they wouldn't let me in. Then you guys would have to start a YouTube fund and you guys have to bail me out. Or maybe you guys say, let him stay in there, we're tired of his videos anyway. Oh, that'd be funny, huh? I don't think they let you do videos like this when you're incarcerated. But on a serious note, you know, this country, I don't know, people, really have to be prepared for what could be coming down the pike, or down the pipe. We don't know. Good times, bad times, average times. All I know is I got my rice, I got my beans, got my charcoal. I bet that deer that was eating the apple would taste good with some mesquite charcoal, especially that backstrap. Oh, that would be some good eating. Yeah, people ask me if I go hunting up here. I mean, when they come down your front yard, do you really consider that hunting? I call it harvesting. But anyway, that's probably enough. I probably rambled on, but you know, thanks again for watching. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. And like to read your comments. And I read just about every comment because they come to my inbox. I don't reply to each and every comment, but that doesn't mean that I'm not appreciative. So thanks again. And as usual, fellow preppers, if you fail to prepare today, you're preparing to fail tomorrow.